and welcome to the 11th Annual Changemakers event, presented by MercyOne. I'm Destiny Philpott, and my family is living proof that the work being done here saves lives. There she is, my Sonara, arrived safely 3 years ago, in large part of changemakers like you who make this critically important work possible. After the unexpected stillbirth of my precious first daughter in 2020 and a subsequent miscarriage, I was both thrilled and scared when I became pregnant again in 2021 with Sonara. I was considered a high-risk pregnancy and was grateful for the additional monitoring and care as a result of my experience of loss. I was determined to listen to myself and be an advocate for my baby in this pregnancy. My doctors gave me a Count the Kicks brochure, and I followed that information to learn my daughter's normal times of activity and movement patterns. Because of this education, I also knew the importance of speaking up to my doctors if I ever noticed a change in her normal. Things were going quite well until week 33, when I noticed a decrease in her movement. The evening of her birth, I tried to get her to move, and when she was unresponsive, I went straight to the hospital. I knew a change in her movement was an urgent red flag. When I arrived at the hospital, my daughter gratefully had a heartbeat, but she refused to move, and then she failed an extensive biophysical profile. In very quick order, the room filled with medical staff as the doctor explained to me that although they weren't sure why my daughter wasn't happy, they did believe she needed to be delivered immediately. My sweet Sonara Yafaya was born a bit early, but alive on February 14th, a perfect Valentine's gift. I am so in love with Sonara and deeply grateful for Count the Kicks, my attentive medical team, and for the knowledge I had to speak up so that I am able to watch my daughter grow up. I am not the only parent whose baby arrived safely because of Count the Kicks and a great care team. As you know, around the room, these parents who are standing also use Count the Kicks to get their baby here safely. Isn't that incredible? Thank you. What you will see today is the full humanity of our work, the extreme highs and the devastating lows, and the systems change that is happening to improve outcomes for moms and babies in Iowa and across the country, thanks to changemakers like you. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you this year's event's chairwoman, Stephanie Wright Hart, and Healthy Birthday Inc. CEO, Emily Price.
Hi, good morning. Thank you so much. Welcome to Changemakers, presented by our incredible partners, MercyOne. I'm Emily Price, the CEO of Healthy Birthday Inc., the creators of Count the Kicks.
And I'm Stephanie Wright Hart, the chairwoman of this year's event. Thank you for being with us. A special shout out to all of you watching virtually around the globe, especially my sister, my mother, who couldn't be here, and all of my college teammates that are out here. Go Bulldogs. Most of you are here because you live your lives with intention. You desire to do good, you show up, you take action, and then good things happen. These are all the qualities of a change maker, and this audience of change makers will undoubtedly save a life today.
We are really grateful as we look out into this packed house. Healthy Birthdays Board of Directors, Count the Kicks ambassadors from several states, our 5 founders and their families are all here, and our hardworking and passionate staff who move our mission forward every single day. We are really thankful to see the faces of respected healthcare clinicians, lawmakers, table captains, fellow stillbirth prevention advocates, leaders from all of Iowa's health systems are here, and our donors and our corporate sponsors who make stories like Destiny's possible. Most importantly, we see the faces of children who are here because of all of you.
I've been coming to this event since the beginning in 2015. Raise your hand if you have been here the last 11 years. That's awesome.
It's amazing. So now raise your hand if you're a first timer though. Welcome, first timers. All right, that's so wonderful. Thank you so much for being here. Whether you come every single year or this is your first Changemakers event, there is one thing you should know. We are going to save a life today, I guarantee it.
In this room, there's the greatest kind of humanity, changemakers who make lives better for others. As Destiny mentioned, we are going to feel it all. I stand here because our son, Ryder, was born still in 2007 at 29 weeks. Ryder should be a junior at Valley High School. Without Ryder in our lives, I have channeled my energy into my wonderful family, my healthy daughter, Mara, my wonderful husband, Scott, and my supportive family, along with my career as a real estate agent and healthy birthday. I am often asked, how is this organization doing? And I often call it our organization. Well, the truth is, the growth has been massive. We are currently implementing Count the Kicks throughout hospital systems and clinics in 31 states. We're averaging 9,000 downloads every month for the free Count the Kicks app. And last year, we distributed over 1.1 million pieces of educational material to 3,500 locations. To date, we've collected more than 150 baby safe stories from families in 37 states and 6 countries.
We have 55 Count the Kicks ambassadors serving our organization as high-level volunteers in 32 states, and again, we have a few of them in the room with us today. We're working to reach the expectant parents most at risk of experiencing stillbirth. Our ultimate goal is to make meaningful, sustainable, and systemic change that leads to a world where the impacts of age, ability, access to healthcare, ethnicity, geography, race, and economic status are no longer predictors of stillbirth. For the first time in our nation's history, the President of the United States of America signed a bill into law elevating stillbirth prevention efforts. On July 12th of last year, President Joe Biden, after near unanimous consent from Congress, he signed the Maternal and Child Health Stillbirth Prevention Act into law. Thank you. This bill is a call to action to health departments all across the country to use federal funding on stillbirth prevention efforts. We were so proud to initiate this legislation, to work alongside thousands of powerful advocates using their voices and leaders in Congress. We spoke at the White House about it, and then we watched it become law last July. You made this happen. The advocates who used their voices made this happen, and the people who have sat in these seats for many years and sent in donations and supported this work made that bill happen. And I have to say, there is something else that helped elevate our legislation. So many of you in the business community in this room go on the Greater Des Moines partnership trips to DC, and so many of you knew and loved Jay Byers, the former CEO of the partnership who died last week.
In the truest sense of the word, he was a change maker. We are all grieving his loss as a giant for doing big things and having a very big heart. He is known for saying, I wake up every morning, know that I can change the world because I live in a community that makes it possible.
That's exactly how we felt when we started Count the Kicks and when we started that legislation. Those partnership trips helped launch our in-person advocacy of our stillbirth legislation back in 2022. I knew our Do Good Things shirt would fit him perfectly, pun intended. This is us with Tiffany Talshek, the current CEO, in the Des Moines airport at the end of that trip when we launched our advocacy for stillbirth prevention in Congress. Let's take a minute to celebrate Jay's life and the impact that he's had with a heartfelt round of applause.
Our hearts are with Jay and everyone who loved him. The need in our community and across the country for stillbirth awareness and education continues to be great. We want to keep the strong momentum going and spread the Count the Kicks as far and as wide as we can share it. So with that, we keep pushing progress. Our goal through today's event is to raise $300,000. Right now, we are about $65,000 away from our goal. I have committed to raise $25,000 towards this goal.
$25,000, raising it right now. You're amazing, Steph. How about a round of applause? And a huge shout out to Steph's supporters who are here. She's got a whole corner of the ballroom. Your entourage.
There they are.
They are all helping you reach your goal. Now you're actually getting really close.
I'm 1,800 short.
Oh, you're so close. You'll get there. I know you will.
I know, you always said I would.
I did. As we strive to reach our fundraising goal, both Steph's and our collective $300,000 goal, we want to acknowledge each and every one of you who is contributing to this success. And so new this year, you're gonna see some names up on the big screen, donors that we're thanking on the big screens throughout this event. Your gift matters, your generosity saves lives. This entire 90 minutes is a celebration of you and the impact you've had. You heard me talk about that legislation. I mean it. I believe it when I say, because you sat in these seats, people who donated 5 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, you made that possible. You make the lives that we save possible. We couldn't do it without you. So the next 90 minutes are about you, the change makers in the room. It's gonna be meaningful and it's gonna be fun.
Did you all see those boxes from Joseph Jewelers? If you purchase one, don't open it yet. We'll go open them together at a designated time after lunch. And did you also see that Coachlight has 2 incredible raffle prizes, including a spa package for 2? The gold boxes are sold out, but we still have tickets available for the spa package and the second prize of a $500 gift card to Coachlight Clinic and Spa. We will stop selling these in 15 minutes. We have stations in the back for the ballroom where you can purchase your Coachlight raffle tickets, as well as the lobby. Who needs a day at the spa? My husband will say I don't.
Oh, but you do. They're only $20 tickets.
I know, well, he's got to go buy me some.
Don't forget the mobile auction. That is still going until 11:55. So you have about 20 minutes or so to keep bidding on those mobile auction items that are all out there. I saw the George Kittle jersey. There's a Montana cabin. Look, I mean, that's
There's a dumpster.
There's a dumpster that will take stuff out of your house and haul it away.
Such a good deal. Get in on that.
I know. So bidding ends at 11:55. We also have some breaking news. That amazing private dinner for 10 by Chef Aaron Holt, he is throwing in a second dinner. So this item is going to the top bidder and the second place bidder. So that's really exciting. I just recently spoke with the winner who won it last year. She said it was by far the best dinner she's ever had in her whole life. He comes into your house, he brings all the linens, all the silverware, whatever you need him to bring, he brings it. He makes a gourmet dinner for 10. So
That sounds
your
amazing.
friends and your family. I know.
Okay, go bid on that, Scott.
I know. And he even takes out the trash. Aaron Holt takes out the trash.
You know, to the dumpster.
To the dumpster.
There you go.
The dumpster, yeah. So we hope you'll bid away. You hope you have a great lunch. Go out and grab a mimosa, take some selfies at the Coachlight selfie station, and the bars will close when the program begins at noon.
So we're gonna step away now. You can enjoy your food and your table guests. For those of you online, you will see the same slideshow here as in the ballroom. We'll have some music and we'll turn at noon central with an impactful program. Thank you.
Thank you.
there's not a day that goes by that I don't struggle or don't think of him. And he's just, he's our little angel in heaven.
I think about every little thing of what she'd be like, you know? What she'd look like, things she'd like, what she'd have in common with me.
We still cry for her. We still wonder where she would be in our lives, what she would be doing.
I did not know babies could die in the 3rd trimester. I know it sounds silly. I just thought that once we made it through our 1st trimester, we were all good.
I did not know that monitoring my baby's movement was important.
I wish I had known better back then.
Now we've seen sort of the wizard behind the curtain, if you will, on life, and just pain and suffering does exist and it is real, and this is what it does to people in this imperfect world. It is truly a failing world that sort of has been revealed to us.
What motivates me in my work is knowing that we can get babies here safely. We can do better.
We can't go back and change our story, but we can rewrite someone else's story.
If we had had Count the Kicks over 20 years ago, would some, all, any of those girls be with us today? You know, we will never know that.
So what can we do to save more lives? It's the question the founders of Healthy Birthday asked themselves 20 years ago. What can we do?
One of the most critical pregnancy warning signs is a change in a baby's movements during the 3rd trimester. Janet, Tiffin, Kate, Carrie, and Jan's solution came in the form of Count the Kicks, bright yellow posters and brochures to educate expectant parents about the importance of paying attention to their baby's movements and to speak up to their doctor if you notice a change. Hi, I'm Megan Ockett, Program Director at Healthy Birthday.
I'm Rose Horton, Vice President of the Board of Healthy Birthday and current President of the Association of Women's Health Obstetrics and Neonatal Nurses, the largest, well-respected OB association in the United States. I am also an executive nurse leader and founder of Not on My Watch, a movement that I created that went viral after the number of maternal deaths in our country started to skyrocket. As a nurse leader, I know firsthand the power and importance of sharing information with expectant parents.
Count the Kicks is an early warning system for moms. Just like we're told as adults that chest pains or a droopy face can be a sign of a heart attack or a stroke, a change in baby's movements is an early warning sign that a baby might be in distress. There could be things developing in utero to put both mom and baby's life in danger, like a placental abruption, an umbilical cord complication, or a maternal fetal hemorrhage. And the very first warning sign comes from the baby when their movements change.
This is not just an issue for babies, it's an issue for moms. When a baby is in distress, oftentimes the health of the mom is in danger as well. The problem now is that too many moms across the United States are still not told that Count the Kicks exist and that it can be a vital lifeline to help get their babies here safely. On top of that, Our healthcare system have not had a uniform standard of care for what to do when a mom comes in with a complaint of a change in their baby's movement, which has led to confusion, missed opportunities, and oftentimes delays. Together, A1 and Healthy Birthday, with the support of many change makers right here in this room, said enough and created a uniform standard of care.
When you fund our work, you fund systems change, life-saving work. When this educational course launched 2 months ago, we had nearly 800 nurses register for a town hall to learn more. This educational module is now live. It is available for every healthcare provider across the country, and the goal is to ensure no more moms slip through the cracks and every concern is handled properly.
So the A1 team responsible for the standard of care is here today. I asked them to please come up so we can recognize them for their amazing work. This is the team of Sarah Koppel and Dr. Angela Ober, who made the educational course possible. Sarah, this was fueled by stories we all heard from moms.
That's right. We created this educational course in clinical algorithm because we saw a critical gap in how changes in fetal movement were being managed. Pregnant individuals were reaching out to their providers, concerned about changes in their baby's movements, but there wasn't always clear guidance on what to do next.
Some were reassured without further assessment, while others underwent unnecessary interventions, leading to inconsistent care and in some cases missed opportunities to prevent stillbirth. By outlining clear steps, when to monitor, when to escalate care, and when to intervene, we are improving clinical decision making. Most importantly, we are helping identify fetal distress sooner. The educational course in the clinical algorithm A1 developed in collaboration with Healthy Birthday moves this work forward, ensuring every pregnant person receives consistent, high-quality care, reducing uncertainty for providers, and ultimately helping to save lives.
Wow, thank you so much. This work is incredible. If you look around the room, you will see many families who have been impacted by stillbirth, as they are remembering their babies by wearing white ribbons on their clothes. Some of the babies we are honoring today, their names have been added to a cherry blossom tree outside this ballroom. On this Earth Day, we chose a cherry blossom because it's beautiful and it also represents the fragility of life.
Let's take a moment of silence to recognize the babies we've lost and honor them and their families today.
Thank you. It is now my honor to introduce you to Elena Cawthon, another strong partner in this work to save lives. Elena oversees labor and delivery at MercyOne.
On behalf of MercyOne, I am honored to be here today. My team and I have the privilege of helping women throughout their pregnancies and to witness the miracle of birth. Along with these miracles, however, we also witness the need to continue reducing health disparities, improving maternal outcomes for women of color, and connecting women in Iowa to prenatal care and other support services. While we face healthcare challenges across our nation and our state, including a shortage of OBGYNs, these challenges have paved the way for a new opportunity to serve families in Iowa. In October, MercyOne launched our new maternal transport team to improve outcomes for both the mother and the infant. The first of its kind in the state of Iowa, this service pairs specifically trained NICU and maternal teams with our flight and ground transport teams to provide much needed care to rural areas, as well as timely transport for patients and infants requiring a higher level of care. Our maternal fetal medicine specialists act as medical control, providing orders to our transport team upon arrival to the facility and throughout the patient's transport, ensuring timely management of patients. In the event of an imminent delivery, both NICU and maternal transport teams are deployed. This allows our team to assist outlier facilities at delivery and then with subsequent stabilization and transport of the infant back to Des Moines. This service was put to the test immediately last fall when a patient who was pregnant with twins began experiencing preterm labor at 26 weeks. Our maternal transport team was deployed to Waterloo, assessed the patient, determined she was safe to fly, and then successfully transported her and her unborn babies to MercyOne in Des Moines. The twin girls were safely delivered by one of our obstetricians and then were directly admitted to the NICU where they could receive the high level of care that they needed. This story is one of many where access to care and patient outcomes were positively impacted by this team. Since October, the maternal transport team has successfully transported 31 patients back to Des Moines. Within our walls at MercyOne, we are saving lives every day. You do not have to look far to see the impact of what this community of changemakers has done. Today, we have 16 families on stage with us. So far, Healthy Birthday has collected more than 150 save stories from across the globe. This is what happens when protocols are in place and the patient is at the center of care. Healthy Birthday has collected more than 55 safe stories from Iowa families, including from Emily and her son Hayden, who was saved at MercyOne.
My name is Hayden. I live in Urbandale, and I was saved in 2010.
This is Gianna. She's from Davenport, and she was saved in 2023.
This is Lucy. She was from Urbandale. She was saved in 2021.
My name's Skylar.
From Des Moines?
Yeah.
And what year were you born?
2019.
This is Brody. He's from Nevada, and he was saved in 2023.
I'm Will. I'm from Des Moines, and I was saved in 2011.
This is Ruby from Ankeny, and she was saved in 2017.
My name is Caden, and I'm turning 7 in 2 days.
You were saved in 2018?
I was saved in 2018. And I live in Ankeny.
This is River. We're from Des Moines, and he was saved in 2021.
I want to try again.
Okay, give it to the next kid.
Hi, Daddy, Ufi.
What's your name? This is Bear. He's from Kansas City, and he was saved in 2021. This is Jude. He's from Pleasant Hill, saved in 2019. This is
Jovi. She's from Altoona and saved in 2021.
This is Jansen from Des Moines, and he was saved in 2015.
My name's Sonara.
And she was saved in 2022.
Oh, I turned 2 too.
Thank you, families. These families are exactly why we are here today. What you see here is living proof of the power of a simple, life-saving, and easy to understand campaign. They're living proof of how you as change makers and donors and supporters of our work save lives. We would love for you to help us keep this momentum going. We are getting closer to our goal. We're very excited because what that means is more lives saved. We invite you to take your phones out if you haven't just yet and donate by texting the words to I am a change maker to the number 44321. That's I am a change maker to 44321. Or you can scan the QR code on your table or up on the big screen here in a second. And by the way, you can also find Healthy Birthday on Venmo. And for those of you who prefer to write a check or donate cash, we also have yellow envelopes on your table or boxes in the back of the room where you can place those. We would love for you to place those in those teal wrapped boxes. Your gift allows us to spread Count the Kicks as far and wide as we can send it. When we first started having what we call our Baby Safe Parade, we didn't have this many families, and now we have more families impacted because of, we always say you never really want to have Count the Kicks, but it's there as a tool and a resource for when you need it. And so we're gonna get, with your help, we're getting this to as many expectant parents, as many health professionals all across the country as we can. Your donations are critical, but your voice and your actions also make a very significant difference too. So at your place setting, everybody has a yellow Count the Kicks brochure that you saw on the screen earlier. You have one at your place setting. So if you know someone who's expecting a baby, or you know someone who's about to become a grandparent, spread the word. Please share the word that Count the Kicks exists. Our app, by the way, just got its 24th language added. So we have 24, the app comes in 24 languages and a contraction timer too. So thank you so much. Thank you, families. Thank you, MercyOne, and thank you so much, Changemakers. Thank you. So the time has come. Get out your gold box if you have one. We had 100 gold boxes. They sold out in, I think, record time within about a half an hour. So if you have one, get your gold box out. Now is the time. Thank you, Ruby. Good job, Kaden. All right, don't open it yet. We're going to open them together, okay, on the count of 3. So just make sure you have it, but don't open it quite yet. I'm really excited to introduce to you Tricia Joseph. She is the Vice President of Joseph's Jewelers in West Des Moines and a longtime supporter of Count the Kicks. Tricia knows how to put the fun in fundraising.
Thank you to all of you who participated in our Gold Box giveaway. All 100 boxes were sold, and one of you will be the lucky winner of a beautiful piece of jewelry I picked out. On the count of 3, let's open the boxes and find out who the lucky winner is. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3.
Stand up if it's you, if you don't mind. We would love to show you to the virtual audience. And this is what's inside. Isn't it stunning? It's absolutely stunning. Do we have a winner? Is there a winner somewhere? Anywhere? If it's you, stand up. I heard a scream. Yay. Back here, it looks like, middle of the room. Congratulations. Thank you so, there it is. Oh, yay. Congratulations. Thank you to everyone who purchased a gold box. $10,000 in just a matter of minutes. That's incredible. Thank you so much, Tricia. We're so grateful. That was so fun. $10,000. Amazing. Because of your generosity and the generosity of Joseph's, we'll save more lives. So coming up in 25 minutes, we're gonna announce the winner of the Coachlight raffle. We sold quite a few tickets of the Coachlight raffle, spa day for 2, so we're really looking forward to that. Hang around until the end at 1 o'clock to hear your name, hopefully. So who is ready for some more fun? 7 years ago, she graced the stage with humor and the whole ballroom filled with laughter. And I was so excited when she said yes again this year. Melissa Radke is the hilarious author, speaker, and TV personality who shares candid insights on life, love, and the complexities of the modern world. You guys, she has a new book out. And I mean, call this a sign or an omen or whatever you will, but her book came out this morning, and this was not pre-planned. It just all worked out that way. So we are so excited that Chicken Fried Women came out this morning, and on popular demand, I am thrilled to introduce you to Melissa Radke once again.
I'm so glad to be here, you guys. This is a wonderful organization. It's a huge day, and I'm very excited that I'm spending it with y'all. I really am. I've been here once before, had such a great time. My family has also experienced loss, and the first time we came, like the first time we said yes to you guys and came and I spoke, I didn't really get the depth of what Count the Kicks can do, and how I wish so much that it had been in my life at the time. So then to come back again is just such a huge honor. And then to come back on this day. If you do not know who I am, I'm gonna give you a quick little introduction, okay? A little story. I grew up on a piece of land surrounded by family. When I brought my husband there for the very first time when we were dating, he was like, "Is this a cult? If it is, I'm all in. I'm in love with you, but I'd like to know, just like to be prepared." I grew up around a bunch of women. And my granny, my aunts, my cousins, my mama, there are men in our family too as well. But I grew up around family, a lot of family. And when I was growing up, I wanted to be a cheerleader really, really bad. But the women in I thought cheerleaders were the best. I thought they were beautiful and they could wear pleats, and I just loved them. And the women in my family were like, "But you can't ever be one because you don't know how to turn a cartwheel, much less anything else. You don't have any rhythm. You can't keep a beat. And when you jump, you don't get up off the ground." And I said, "Who needs y'all? I'm going to try out for a cheerleader. It's going to be great." I did try it out. This was back in the day when you would try out for cheerleader in front of the entire high school, and then they would vote on you, because that seems like an emotionally healthy thing to do, doesn't it? I did not make cheerleader, because I, in fact, cannot jump off the ground nor turn a cartwheel. They were correct. I went home, and the women in my family do what they did best. They did not hug me. They instead looked at me and said, "We told you that was going to happen." And then they made me chicken strips, because that's what we do in Texas when we're sad. We eat chicken. As much as I loved cheerleaders in high school, let me tell you where cheerleaders also are. They're also in college. It's one thing to sit beside them in chemistry in high school. It's another thing entirely to share a communal bathroom with them, okay? And they come out of the shower, and they can wrap that JCPenney towel around them like twice. But I've got that beach towel that says, "I went to Destin and I've got crabs," and I am just fighting to get that tied. I lived on a hall with all cheerleaders. In fact, I lived with the cheer captain. She was right next door to me, and I fixed her up with a buddy of mine. He was a great friend, and I fixed her up with him, and they started dating. And when she would go home on the weekends, he would say, "Hey, you want to hang out?" And I would say, "Sure," but we were just friends. It was very platonic. And on one particular day, he and I decided that we were going to go shopping for Christmas. She was gone for the weekend, and we were going to go to the Galleria. So I rushed back to my room and found all of the cheerleaders were in my room. I kept my room unlocked, and my dorm room was full with just a line of cheerleaders in my room. And I walked in and I thought, "Oh, they need me." this is it. I started to stretch. They were like, no, that is not what this is. And she stood up in the middle of them and she said, I was supposed to go home. My plans changed. I told him that my plans changed, but he said he wasn't going to cancel his time with you, and I just don't think that's right. And so I'm asking you a favor. I would like for you to record him talking about me. Now, this was back in the day when we had the Sony Walkmans, okay? Nobody had a fancy phone back then. So I put that Sony Walkman in my purse and my fake Dooney and Burke, and I hit record. And we went out that night, and I asked him about her. He said, you do know why I'm dating her, right? Because she has the best car on campus, and she lets me drive it whenever we go out. That's why we're dating. And I could just hear that tape player just rolling there in the car. We get to the restaurant. I set my phone up on the table, and he says this to me. He says, Melissa, whenever I go to sleep at night, you're the last thing on my mind. Whenever I wake up in the morning, you're the first thing I think about. You've been my best friend for a while now, and I think I'm in love with you. I was wondering if tonight could be our first date. I went to the bathroom, turned that tape off, and we had a wonderful night. But then I got back to the norm. And I walked in, and there sat the entire cheerleading squad. And she was stood up, and she said, put the tape in. I ended up playing the tape for her. When the tape was over, the entire cheerleading squad stood up from where they were. And y'all, they all turned like this. And they marched out in the most gorgeous formation I have ever seen. I literally found myself walking behind them. Like, I had to be reminded that I'm not one of them. I could hear her screaming at him over the phone, just screaming. A few minutes later, I heard, Melissa, you have a guest in the lobby. Melissa, you have a guest in the lobby. I walked down, and it was him, and he said, go get the tape. I went back to my room. I got the tape. We took it outside. He took it outside, and he laid it behind the tire on the driver's side. And we got in the car, and he backed over it, and then he went forward. And then he backed over it, and then he went forward. I've been married to that man right there for 31 years. So don't tell me the fluffy girl don't win. Sometimes she wins, okay? And I love to tell that story because it's a great little introduction. Oh, there you are. There's the man from 31 years, way back there. I just pointed to some guy over here who got lucky. Hey, you against the wall. Congrats. I always tell that story whenever I speak anywhere. It's a great little introduction of who I am. But really, the truth of the matter is, if you want to know who I am, check out the book, Chicken Fried Women. That book is about the women, for better or worse, who made me who I am. That is about the chicken fried women in my life. That's what I call them. Someone said, why the name Chicken Fried Women? Why do you call them that? Well, let me ask you this. There's a bunch of women in here. Anybody in here have a name for your girlfriend group? Anybody? Come on. Yes, you do. Okay. What is it? Give me one. Non? It's your initials. I get it. Okay. What? Somebody else. You have one? Y'all have one? Nobody? Okay. What's yours? The Golden Girls. I have that too with my childhood friends, the Golden Girls. One lady told me last night at a reception, they call themselves the corn-fed girls. And I like that too. But I call my women in my family chicken fried women. Why? Because within my family, we have those who have suffered the loss of a child, the loss of a spouse. They have had divorce and betrayal, cancer, remission, cancer again. Let's see, what else? Addiction, rehab again. In other words, the women in my family are a little battered on the outside, but they're tender on the inside. And that's what makes them a chicken fried woman. And I love them. They're difficult. They're not my favorite. I am so thankful to be here today. Thank you guys so much for having me. I watched my timer, Miss Emily, and I did very, very good. Thank you. Bye.
you so much, Melissa. Great to have you here. I can't wait to read the book.
I know, everyone's gonna buy one. So, Melissa, thank you so much for your message. Thank you for keeping us in stitches. And guess what, you all? Melissa has agreed to sign all of your books. So if you're interested in purchasing Chicken Fried Women, you can do so at the conclusion of the program, just outside the ballroom in the lobby. Melissa's happy to take a selfie or sign the book, and it's a huge special thanks to Beaverdale Books, who is giving a portion of the sales to Count the Kicks. Thank you, Allison Hunter at Beaverdale Books.
All right, yes, thank you. Who is ready to find out who won the Coachlight raffle? I am so excited to introduce to you Lauren Caleb from Coachlight. Come on up, Lauren. She might be a Count the Kicks app user. What do you think? So we raised over $4,400. Thank you so much, Lauren, for the generosity of a 2-person spa package, refresh package, amazing. And there's a second prize as well, a $500 gift card. So are you ready to find out the first name?
I'm ready. I'm ready. Who's the lucky winner? And make sure you guys do have at your place setting too a Coachlight gift card to take home. So put that in your purse. So let's announce the first winner for a refresh spa package for 2, our most popular package. Congratulations. If you're still here, Nicole Cooney. Woo! Yay!
That's the well-marked table, I think.
Very nice. Congrats, Nicole. All right, and then our second prize is a $500 gift card to Coachlight. Can use it at either location. And congrats to Bev Withers. Yay, they were here. Thank you so much, guys, for the opportunity.
Thank you, Lauren. We're so grateful. We appreciate it so much. Thank you all.
Thank you, Coachlight, and to everyone who has donated. We hope you've had a great time this afternoon. And if you haven't already, please consider making a donation before you leave today. With your help, I know we can reach a goal of $300,000, and every dollar will help us reach more expectant parents and continue to spread the word about this life-saving program.
We're getting extremely close. We'll update you by email for sure in the final total, but I know we'll get there. Thank you all so much. Our time together got us a lot closer to our goal, and your donation goes directly, as we mentioned, to funding things like Count the Kicks app, which is completely free for our app users. Critical stillbirth prevention research, like you heard from the A1 researchers earlier. We continue to work with researchers, particularly at the University of Iowa. Our researchers, Drs. Mark and Donna Santillion, are here today working on some really important research with them as well. We are so excited that another thing where these funds will go is a large community baby shower that we're hosting later this fall here in Des Moines. It's where we center joy in pregnancy as well as life-saving education. Those are just some of the areas where your donations go.
And mobile auction winners, you should have received a text notification that you won your bid. Please pay for your prizes and then check out at the designated tables in the foyer and you can collect your prizes.
All right, and finally, a massive thank you to Special Events Coordinator Megan Kuntz and our amazing volunteer committee of Amy Romanin, Gina Kramer, Christina Gaiman, Beth Honnold, and Susan Elder. Thank you to Marquis, our tech crew, for orchestrating this amazing program, and ITA Group for providing a lot of event day support as well. So you are all change makers. Thank you all so much for your time today, and we hope to see you again next year.